Hi, I'm Brenda from Alberta Quilter. Please stay tuned for today's tips. I'd like to talk to you about sewing machines. I've had the privilege of having many sewing machines over the years, and I say that's a privilege because I realize that not everybody can afford a sewing machine or has even access to a sewing machine. Therefore, I really realized that it is a privilege. When I was younger, I used to actually go and visit my gran, and she's my sewing hero. And she used to make 500 toys a year for the Lions Club in South Africa. And I would watch her sit and sew and sew and sew all year long, and it was this great excitement to go over to her house and see all the different toys that she'd made, because she'd make so many different varieties of toys. I mean, it was like a child's paradise going in there, and they were always all lined up right as you walked into her apartment, and all you wanted to do was take them all home, and they were for other children. So in any case, that's kind of where the seeds of sewing in my life kind of were planted. And my gran just worked on a basic sewing machine, straight stitch, zigzag, back and forth, you know, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy. I think it was an old Pfaff that she had. But it was a workhorse, and she had it for years, and it worked great. Over the years, different machines have taken on new life, and you know, for a wedding gift, my husband actually bought me a really nice sewing machine. And I don't know that he actually realized what he was doing, because it's cost him many thousands of dollars since then. Because, you know, there's new machines that come out, and then you're like, oh wow, wouldn't it be cool too? And so, you know, eventually I got myself an embroidery machine, and I had that for about 13 years. And just recently I was very privileged, and I managed to upgrade that old machine to a newer one, which, let me tell you, is space age, and I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a Pfaff and it's beautiful, but I don't know how to use it yet. I'm working on it. But all of that said, I wanted to just show you a couple of things that you can cheaply, if you're just getting started with sewing and quilting, and you're like, I can't afford, or I don't want to buy $1,000 or $5,000 machine. You're right. Who wants to do that? These machines are very expensive, and I'm not exactly sure why they're so expensive, because they're just generally the same machine as the machine. But if you can find yourself a nice, cheap, easy machine, something that runs really well, you will be very happy with it, especially if you're just beginning. Okay, so here's the thing. This one is actually a Kenmore, but I know you can get other brand, like this is a Sears model, but you can get other brands. And this machine actually just has just a few stitches. It has straight stitch, zigzag, a few fancy zigzags, and it goes back and forth, and I believe it has some buttonholes, and that's it. That's all you need. You know, simple threading. Your thread sits on the top. Nothing fancy, but I tell you something, this machine works fantastically. I love it. I actually found this at the thrift store for $20, but that was the deal of the century, and I love this machine. So yeah, I use it a lot. This is actually my traveling machine because it's small, and when I go to the guild, I can just take it back and forth. So pick up yourself a nice small machine to start with. Find out actually if you like to sew, if you like it enough to invest the money into buying a bigger and better machine. Okay, because machines can range between, you know, $200 up to $10,000, $15,000. I've seen, like, embroidery machines and straight stitching machines. You know, if you're just doing simple piecing or even just a little bit of dressmaking, something like this is perfect. The other machine I have here is actually a serger. It's a little bit dusty, excuse the dust, but you know, I can write my name in it. My children always used to like to write their name in my desk because I was sewing. Who was dusting, really? So yes, this serger is a 4-thread serger, and I can do really wonderful rolled hems and serged hems and stuff. Now, would you use this for quilting? Not necessarily, but I have actually used it to put to stabilize my edge on my quilt before I put my binding on. Sometimes I'm finding that my quilt is a little bit wobbly or whatever, then I'll just serge the edge, just finish it off, and then you know, put the binding on afterwards. So it's not a necessary tool for quilting, but I wanted to show you different kinds of machines that are out there. I also have in my own repertoire, I have a long arm quilting machine and on its frame, and I also have a Pfaff Creative, I believe, that is the embroidery machine. And so you know, like I said, I consider it a privilege and I'm thankful for it. I use it a lot in my business, and they're great machines, but they're very expensive. So, you know, unless you're really wanting to make the commitment and make the, you know, and buy something as expensive as that, start off small. You won't regret it. There's lots of fun that you can have with something little like this. I know I do. You know, all my creations start under this little piece, and then we kind of go from there. So, thank you very much. Thanks for watching us. Please join us next time. If you would like to know more about the products that I love and I've used in these videos, please check out the comment section below, and of course, like and share my videos. Thank you very much.